Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we are diving into one of the most unexpected twists in South African politics, a possible presidential bid by billionaire businessman Patrice Motsepe. Yes, you heard that right. As the ANC succession debate gains momentum, the name Motsepe is making waves, not just in political circles, but in business forums and civil society as well. With President Cyril Ramaphosa's leadership facing growing scrutiny, the ruling party is once again at a crossroads. And now, one of Africa's richest men might be positioning himself as the face of a new ANC. So, what does this mean for South Africa's political future? Is the ANC ready to embrace someone from the world of business rather than the trenches of political activism? Or will this be another short-lived rumor in a party already plagued by factional battles and ideological tug-of-war? Let's unpack this political curveball. Patrice Motsepe isn't new to the public eye. He's a self-made billionaire, mining magnate, and the current president of the Confederation of African Football. He's also the founder and executive chairman of African Rainbow Minerals and one of the wealthiest individuals on the continent. His brand is tied to Black economic empowerment, corporate philanthropy, and strategic leadership, everything the ANC publicly claims to stand for, but has increasingly struggled to deliver on. But here's where it gets politically sensitive. Motsepe is also President Cyril Ramaphosa's brother-in-law. That alone is enough to raise eyebrows within ANC ranks. It raises questions about dynastic politics and whether this is just a backroom plan to preserve Ramaphosa's economic agenda without him remaining in power. Insiders say Motsepe's name is being whispered as a possible unifier, a technocrat who could rise above the ANC's ever-deepening factional divides. He's seen as someone who could command respect across ideological camps, while offering the ANC a desperately needed reset in the eyes of the public and the markets. But not everyone is convinced. The ANC has always been deeply rooted in political struggle credentials. Loyalty, liberation history, and internal alliances matter, often more than skills or vision. Motsepe, for all his corporate success, has never been part of the ANC's core political machinery. He hasn't served in its leagues, he hasn't climbed the ranks, and he doesn't have a public political track record. That's a red flag for many within the party, especially those in its grassroots structures. And this is where the ANC faces a real identity crisis. Does it choose renewal, and risk alienating its traditional power base? Or does it stick to its old ways and risk losing even more credibility with voters and investors alike? This succession debate is not just about replacing Ramaphosa. It's about what kind of party the ANC wants to be in the next decade. Will it be a movement rooted in liberation nostalgia, or will it evolve into a modern political machine capable of dealing with complex economic and social challenges? Motsepe's potential candidacy is a direct challenge to the ANC's old guard. His rise would represent a shift from political populism to managerial competence, something many South Africans are quietly craving. Corruption scandals, load shedding, unemployment, and declining service delivery have battered public trust in the ANC. A candidate like Motsepe could be positioned as the party's redemption arc, someone who brings integrity, business acumen, and global credibility. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. There's currently no official campaign, no public declaration, and no internal confirmation that Motsepe even wants the job. His camp has been tight-lipped, and ANC officials are treating the rumors with strategic caution. However, the very fact that his name is gaining traction says a lot about the state of leadership in South Africa. And it's not just political analysts paying attention. The business community is watching closely too. For them, a leader like Motsepe could signal stability, rational economic policy, and a break from populist rhetoric. He's already built relationships with international investors, development banks, and heads of state across the continent. That's the kind of soft power the ANC has been lacking for years. Still, we must consider how this would play out at branch level. ANC branches, especially in rural and township areas, remain deeply skeptical of business elites. They want leaders who know the pain of poverty, who've led strikes, who've been arrested for activism, not someone who spent decades in boardrooms. That tension between political legitimacy and managerial effectiveness could be the biggest barrier to any Motsip campaign. So, what would it take for Motsip to actually run? He would need to gain support from key provinces, secure nominations from enough ANC branches, and win over influential voices in the NEC. He'd also have to withstand attacks from those within the party who view him as a corporate Trojan horse or a proxy for Western interests. And make no mistake, those attacks would come hard and fast. Already, critics are calling the idea of a Motsip presidency a threat to the ANC's revolutionary DNA. But for many disillusioned voters, that might be exactly what the party needs. South Africa is in desperate need of a leadership model that can rebuild institutions, attract investment, and restore functional governance. Whether that comes from a politician or a businessman may be less important to voters than whether the person can deliver results. And in a political landscape full of recycled promises and ethical failures, someone with no formal political baggage might just stand a better chance than expected. In conclusion, the ANC succession debate is heating up, and Patrice Motsip's name has added an entirely new dimension to the story. Whether he runs or not, his emergence as a serious candidate reflects the shifting winds in South African politics. The days of relying solely on liberation credentials may be numbered. The real question now is, can the ANC adapt before it's too late? Let us know in the comments, do you think Patrice Motsip could save the ANC? Or would his entry only deepen the party's internal divisions? Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a breakdown of South Africa's biggest political stories. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.